Proseed halftime report. If you need seed, think Proseed. Joining us today, District Sales Manager Adam Smith. Adam, great to have you here. Yeah. How are the crops looking as of late?
Crops are looking pretty good in most areas. Some guys got a little dry this year. Those spots are a little iffy. Overall, everything's looking pretty good. Corn is looking really good. It didn't get hurt very bad by the drought from what I'm seeing. Maybe a little bit more tip back than we're used to, but I think it's going to be a really good crop. The beans, there's some that are just starting to come off. Some guys a little disappointed. Some guys quite surprised. I mean, there's some beans that are really good right now too.
Talk about some of the new genetics that you guys have coming down the pipeline that guys can start thinking about.
So we're still waiting on the enlist beans. That's the 240. We're waiting on all the approval and everything. We have seed supply out there, so we're ready when they're ready. We have a full lineup of Extend. We have our Roundup beans. We have Liberty, GT27. We have them all. It's kind of nice working with Proseed.
You name it, Proseed's got it. So
it's kind of nice working with Proseed.
The other thing that I love about working with Proseed is the fact you guys have got this great right choice program. Tell us what you're doing this year.
So this year we're doing guns. It should be really fun. We hope to give a lot of guns away. Get 3 products on your farm and you're going to get rewarded. So.
And it's all different kinds, right?
It's a bunch of different kinds of guns. We have ARs, we have pistols, we have shotguns, we have 22s, we have 17s, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Great stuff, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Find out more about the Right Choice program. Just go to Proseed.net and stay right with us. Much more coming up right here on the Proseed Halftime Report.
We welcome you back inside our Fargo studios for the Proseed Halftime Report. North Dakota State leading North Alabama 17-0 here at halftime.
Not necessarily the game I was expecting.
You know, I've been saying all week that I thought it was going to be a close game. NDSU will be comfortable with it.
I never heard him say that.
I said that at the end of the pregame show. Let's get into the highlights, shall we?
Let's get into the highlights. All right, Bison, first quarter, forcing a 3-and-out here. High snap. Has the ball loose. James Hendrick, the Swiss Army knife, down on it.
You know, coaches always talk about getting a short field, and I don't know that you can get much shorter of a field than starting a drive on the 3-yard line.
No, that was good. James Hendrick, the punter does a nice job of keeping it out of the end zone, actually, but James Hendricks is there quick.
And I think that's a little bit of the nerves from North Alabama playing in front of 18,000 people.
That will do it. Well, the Bison take over on the 1. Bruce Anderson punching it in.
That's Bruce doing Bruce things. We talked to Ty Brooks earlier in the week, and man, nobody care about Bruce. That's how he said it, but Bruce cares about touchdowns, and that gives the Bison the lead.
Yeah, 7-0 there. We move to the second quarter. Lions with some movement, getting their wide receivers involved in offensive pass interference here. Pushes them back, but Lopez to Andre Little here.
I've been impressed with this North Alabama offense. They're able to move the ball. This Lopez kid is finding his receivers. He's doing a good job of moving the football down the field.
Yeah, well, Aaron Seidel's had enough of that. He picks up a big sack here for a loss, forcing North Alabama to punt.
Yeah, and that's what the Bison defense does. They will bend, but they will not break, and that's what they've done all first half here.
They certainly have 54 yards here. Easton Stick to Dallas Freeman.
And we don't get to see Dallas too much in the passing game. We didn't get to see a lot of the passing game against Cal Poly, but good to see Dallas Freeman getting involved and fighting for those extra yards.
Through those guys, yak it up. I love it. Well, Stick to Darius Shepard here for an 18-yard touchdown.
Darius Shepard waited until the national title game last year to score his first touchdown of the season. It's good to see that he's not going to wait, the entire season before getting into the end zone this time. Also, Stick's first passing touchdown of the season.
Look at Shepard earn this touchdown, though. He earns this.
It's a good job by Stick to use the pump fake to get the cornerbacks to free up Shepard a little bit, and then Shepard does the rest.
He absorbs that hit, though, and keeps going and lays out. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're moving into the second quarter, a little bit later into the second quarter. 14-0 still. Lions punting deep in their territory. Darius Shepard back to receive this, takes a big hit and fumbles.
We heard the guys say in the broadcast that, playing this week after an open week, it's kind of like playing in the first game. And I think some of the numbers that you're seeing and some of these plays make you feel like, oh, this is kind of like an opener again.
Josh Hayes picks up the ball, though. Ball's back in Easton Stick's hands. He's on the move there a little bit, forced to scramble, hits Freeman again.
That is what makes Easton Stick so good, is his ability to keep the play alive, keep his eyes down the field, and then find Dallas Freeman. right down the field, and that would lead to an NDSU field goal.
An NDSU, that's weird to say.
Yeah, how many times is NDSU going to have a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line and not punch it in for a touchdown? I don't think that Coach Kleiman is very happy about that.
No, tip the cap. This wraps up at halftime 17-0, but you heard Coach Kleiman say it there at the half. It's a good thing we're winning the special teams battle, because that's why we're winning this game right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by the North Dakota Certified Seed Producers. And as expected, it is NDSU, but I think that number that is a little concerning to everybody is that rushing yards number for North Dakota State, just 43. Each team with a turnover. NDSU fortunate not to have 2 turnovers there. And there's that penalties. The Bison only had 2 penalties against Cal Poly. This week, they've already got 2 in the first half, and North Alabama.
One of those was very unfortunate. Greg Menard
very unfortunate.
Didn't hear the whistle.
Yep.
We know how loud it is in there. That's an unfortunate. I'd say that's one.
Yep.
One penalty.
Well, that goes down on the stats as a
it doesn't
personal
count. They
foul.
don't ask me
They're not going to ask you about that.
Well, you did ask me about the rushing yards, and you know what? I'm not worried about NDSU's rushing yards there. They'll figure it out.
They usually do.
And they're going to. I'm just not worried.
A couple other notes that we don't have here on the stats report. 3rd downs, North Alabama is 1 for 8, so the Bison defense doing a good job of getting those 3 and outs and winning 3rd down. But the Bison offense just 2 for 6 on 3rd downs, while North Alabama is controlling the time of possession by about 3 minutes there over North Dakota State. Again, those are your halftime stats brought to you by the North Dakota Certified Seed Producers. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at scores around the rest of the Missouri Valley. Some big games in action, including some big games still to come tonight. We'll update you on all that still to come here on the Proseed Halftime Report. Welcome back into the Proseed Halftime Report. North Dakota State leading North Alabama 17-0 at halftime. Let's take a look at some of the scores going around the Missouri Valley Football Conference today. Valparaiso at Youngstown State. Valpo seeing the worst of Youngstown State there, 35-7 for Bo Pelini's squad. 0-2 Youngstown State is on the season, so that could be the first win for the Penguins this year. And continuing the Big Sky Missouri Valley Football Conference Challenge, it's Northern Arizona at Missouri State. Case Cookus not playing for Northern Arizona today at Missouri State. That's kind of surprising given Missouri State and what we've seen out of the Bears the last couple of years. Thank you for adding something there, Beth. I appreciate that.
I'm distracted by how you spelled Valparaiso.
Isn't that how I spell it?
No, there's another A in there.
Well,
it's close
there's
to
a good
home.
typo.
It's
Good
okay.
typo. Montana leading Western Illinois. That game is in the 2nd quarter. Montana putting up 18 first-quarter points. Western scoring 14 and adding a field goal in the 2nd quarter.
I am intrigued by that one.
That is a big one. Western Illinois is still looking for their first win of the season. Montana is undefeated.
After having played against Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what to expect from the Missouri Valley this season.
The thing I think you can expect is to expect the unexpected. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Alex.
You're very welcome. Arkansas Pine Bluff is down in Brookings today, later today at 6 o'clock, taking on South Dakota State. Southeast Missouri State is at Southern Illinois, that same Southern Illinois team that racked up all kinds of points against Ole Miss.
That was weird.
Ole Miss? I think it was
That
Ole
was
Miss.
weird.
It was weird. It was so weird that I forgot who they were playing it against. Indiana State, they are the Sycamores. I remember that. They will be at Eastern Illinois. That game starting at 6 o'clock Central Time. Northern Iowa back in action. They are at Iowa. 6:30 p.m. is the start time for that. That would be a huge win for Northern Iowa if they could pull that off. Either way, we're all going to enjoy after the first quarter when they do the Kinnick Wave to the hospital there. One of the greatest traditions, new traditions in college sports. And South Dakota is at Weber State tonight. That game will kick at 7 o'clock Central Time. That is it for your trip around the Missouri Valley. We come back, we'll put a wrap on the end of the first half, and we'll send it back out to the Dome for the second half of action as North Dakota State leads North Alabama 17-0 here on the Proseed Halftime Report.